And good morning. It's Thursday. I'm your friend Scotty Ray as the crew gets ready to bring you the morning show. It'll be here at 7 o'clock when we get into all things local. How do you feel today? A little storm blew through last night as we had thunderstorms. Got several pictures of some limbs down throughout the area. Wind blew a little bit and had some showers. A lot of you may have just slept through all of that. It was good to get some rest, wasn't it? We'll tell you all about local, as I said, as we get to the 7 o'clock hour. Yes, another murder has happened in Meridain, bringing our total to 11 for the year. I need to double check, but I do think that totals everything that happened last year, and we haven't even made it to the halfway point of this year. 2 people were shot last night. Details coming up on that at the top of the hour. We'll get deeper into that. Wayne, good morning there, you and Dolores. Hope you all are doing good. Miss LaWanda is up. Arnold, I see you. Mark. What a gorgeous day we're going to have, but also, let's keep in mind of just how hot this is going to be. We do have a 30% chance of showers coming in after 2 o'clock this afternoon. Our high should reach somewhere around 95. But the bad news is, have y'all been out in the afternoons here in the last week to where you can't hardly get that breath in? 101 is what we're expecting on the heat index side. It's just downright miserable to be outside. If you're a roofer, you're a logger, paver, okay. If you're weed eating or cutting grass, it's pretty rough. I can't think of anything. Oh, if you got to walk to the mailbox, it ain't fun, is it? Welcome to Mississippi. It's really nice during the winters, and, well, we have issues during the summer, don't we? We'll be right back. We'll get this day started now with a good word from the Lord above. Let's head on out to Collinsville now.
I worked in a coffee shop for about 3 years, and there are things you learn that mix well together. White chocolate and caramel, brown sugar and espresso. Come on, I could go all day. But there are things that you learn not to mix together, like lemon syrup flavoring and milk. You may know, but even adding just a little bit of lemon juice to a cup of cold, fresh milk will cause the milk to separate and turn sour. There were just some things we could not serve in the coffee shop because the results of such combinations were, frankly, an abomination. This week, we've been talking a lot about the Apostle Paul's righteousness compared to Jesus Christ's righteousness. As Christians, we believe that we can't save ourselves. No amount of good works or church attendance or good morals will earn us heaven. Because just as lemon juice ruins an entire cup of good milk, sin and wrongdoing has ruined our so-called good lives. Paul says in Philippians 3:9 to consider all the things he's done as dung and rather be found in Christ, not having a righteousness of my own from the law, but one that is through faith in Christ, the righteousness from God based on faith. Your righteousness, my righteousness, it's worthless. It earns us nothing because it's imperfect. It's stained with sin. But the righteousness of Christ, which is perfect, can be bestowed on you through faith in Him, making you blameless before God. There's no way you can earn your salvation. You're not perfect. You fall short of what God has called you to be. But because of His great mercy and His great grace, God has given us His Son, Jesus, born of a virgin, born under the law, to redeem us so that we might be forgiven of our sins, cleansed of unrighteousness, and now able to live with the righteousness of Christ. I pray you receive this gift of grace by trusting Jesus for salvation today. Change begins in you.
The Change Begins in You is brought to you in part by Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville, Patrick Allen Companies, Mitchell Tire and Wrecker in Collinsville, and Mowdy Cabinetry. Hope you enjoyed that message this morning as we begin our day together. I was talking to Odie as we were getting ready to come back on air, and you know how something just comes out of nowhere and you can't explain why it gets stuck in your head and you can't shake it. And I can't tell you the movie that it was, Elvis. Y'all remember that? There was a song called Little Egypt. And it went, hey, hey, hey. I can't shake it. She had a ruby in her. I'd have to go back and listen to the rest of that, but it just come out of nowhere and grabbed me, as they say. So I got a little Elvis going through my head this morning. How are you? I hope you don't have anything stuck in your head, because if it does happen, it'll be with you the rest of the day. Ruth, good morning to you. It's coming back. Did you ever watch it? It's interesting. Storage Wars, where they show up and they bid on the things and all of that. You remember the little annoying guy? Yep. Remember him? He's been gone for at least 2 years. He's coming back. Dave Hester is his name. And again, he's a worrisome little fellow, but apparently the ratings are slipping and they need something to bring it back up. I'm not sure, what was the girl's name on there? Brandy. Is she still there? I thought they got a divorce.
Yeah, they did get a divorce, and I don't know who goes now. I hadn't watched it like I used to.
People were really tuning into Brandy and her bidding.
Yeah.
I'm sure that's what it was all about.
Yeah, it was her bidding.
Yes, her bidding abilities that had everybody watching. There used to be another one that was kind of up against it that was a little bit different. On this show, what I don't like is they bid on it and they claim, well, this is worth so-and-so, and I can get this. Well, thinking what you'll get and actually getting it are two different things. There was another show of the guys that bought it and then they sold it and actually showed the profit. But anyway, it is interesting to see what you'll get in a storage shed. I haven't convinced Odie to go out and try this yet. We'll see if it happens there. Let's see. But as we talk about what's going on in the Mideast, Iran, if you remember there, as the ceasefire was about to begin, Iraq shot something, and it really didn't do any damage to Israel. In retaliation, Israel sent planes up, and they were en route to take care of the issue. Trump called him and said, turn them around. He goes, no. He said, turn them around. I don't care. They were turned around, and you listen to Daddy Trump.
Daddy Trump.
If you haven't seen the clip from yesterday, please look that up. They were at NATO talking. The guy referred to Trump as Daddy during the interview, and little Marco Rubio tried to keep his composure, and he had a lot of trouble keeping a straight face after the guy called him Daddy. It's funny. We'll get more into that this morning. It was funny there. It looks as though the UK is going to be buying some F-35s from the US of A. They are capable of carrying nuclear bombs should they need them. Looks like they'll buy an even dozen and take care of that at least. Anchorage, Alaska. Ooh, this is bad. And there are ships that carry all types of cargo all over the world. These were carrying American cars as they were going to a foreign country, and the cargo ship went down. It caught fire. The people on board abandoned ship, and it ended up sinking. I don't know how many cars were on it, but that's not good. It's at the bottom of the ocean there now. That's a mess, is it not? Lightning. Now, I've only seen one case of this, and I still got it on my phone, of a young lady here locally that was struck by lightning. It's dangerous. Most people don't live to tell the story, but we do have it here. And I need to really share that with the National Weather Service in Jackson of when that happened. But we see in South Carolina, 20 people were injured when a lightning strike hit the water while people were swimming. It's dangerous. It will end your life quickly. Be careful. Get away from trees when it's raining. Don't stand out there. And by all means, get away from water. And golfing is not good either, is it, Odie?
No.
Kind of like the iron.
Yeah, you just hold that lightning rod up.
That's a lightning rod for sure. It'll bring it right on to you there. We mentioned this briefly yesterday, and proceedings will happen to this as the grand jury met in Texas, of that athlete that was stabbed by the other athlete, and the family kept arguing that he done nothing wrong. He didn't. The grand jury doesn't see it that way. It's headed to court. That's the family that lived in $1 million house nearly, and they've received, is it $1 million that they've received from the public? And they were real forthcoming of, we're not going to spend all this on legal fees. Representative McIlver, do you remember her? She was at went to visit ICE, began pushing and shoving officers. She was charged for attacking officers. She's pleading not guilty to that. That also will head to court. There needs to be a line to where politicians that want to get radical with police are taught a lesson of you don't do that. That's why you're elected, to be a peacekeeper. You have meetings, you do this during diplomacy. You don't lay hands on officers and do things that they've started doing these days. Oh my. Let's see what else we've had happen this morning. I don't know if you watched the video. I saw this late yesterday afternoon as I was going to a wreck. I'd stopped, got everything typed out from the wreck, and I glanced back at my phone. There was an airplane that caught my eye. fire coming out from underneath it, and lo and behold, it happened. American's Airlines flight took off from Las Vegas. After getting in the air, one engine started smoking and fire could be seen from the ground. They immediately returned and landed. Not sure what has caused that. I don't know how many of you fly. I've flown quite a bit in my life. I like it. It gets you there quick. You're not tired when you arrive, and, well, you can turn a 12-hour thing into like 2 hours. Very comfortable when you get there, not wore out. But I can only imagine sitting in that seat, looking out the window, seeing fire from the engine and thinking, oh, boy. You want to talk about getting your priorities in a row, that would do it. It's not like a car that, well, you can coast to the side of the road and pour some more water in the radiator. That big bird's coming down one way or the other when you've got an issue like that. Now, I'm sure everybody's had that employee or, well, maybe a family member. I think it happened not far from me one time, to where you go out of town on vacation. You leave somebody at home, or you have someone come do work on your house. And then, well, they throw a wild party. This one went across the line as the landscaper realized the homeowner was gone. He threw him a big party while they were gone. Yes, sir, Bob. It was in North Carolina. He's been arrested for what he done. And I would say this is probably going to have a bad outcome on his business. Think about that. A guy that you hired to do your lawn and take care of things throwing a party at your house. I would say it would go beyond that because, well, they have keys to your home, most likely, in gated communities to where they can get in, take care of it. That's just a bad business decision. If they'll do that, they'll steal from you, and you know that as well as I do. The Pope. And again, I don't know a lot about Catholics. I don't really know a lot about the Pope and how they do things. I know that they affirm celibacy for priests. I've never quite understand why a priest cannot be married, and it would most likely, y'all know what I'm getting at, stop a lot of these bad things that happens. The Pope is also demanding firm action on sex abuse. Again, I'm not running the religion down. I just don't understand everything there is to know about all of that. I don't understand why a priest can't get married. And that's just my 2 cents on that. And again, I can't argue with anybody on that politically or on the religious side because I don't quite understand it. Trump does not rule out sending Ukraine more Patriot missiles. He just may do that in the end. Let's see here. This is horror. How many of you ever been to the beach or you've been at a swimming pool and a small storm comes up? Think about this, being the lifeguard there, and the next thing you know is the wind catches one of those umbrellas that is on the beach. Y'all know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah.
It goes up in the air and comes after and impales into the lifeguard. She's going to live, but she was impaled. Can y'all imagine? That's scary. They say she's a tough young woman and she's going to recover from this.
I've had to chase my umbrella a couple times.
I bet you have chased an umbrella a time or two there, Odie. Humor. We've seen this in a lot of these, and I don't mean this ugly by any means. We've seen this in lawmakers that sometimes stay past their time in the business. Do you know what I mean by that? We saw this with Biden. We saw it with Nancy Pelosi. She should have been gone long time ago. And we see this in Schumer. Chuck Schumer is who I'm talking about. He was rushed to a hospital because he had lightheadedness. He's another that, well, it's been great, but it's time to, well, go ahead and retire. Go enjoy the good life. Your time has passed being a political figure. We see it all over.
Take Maxine Waters with you.
Take Maxine with She's been there quite a spell also. But it really does. I don't care who you are. I'm not as clever as I used to be. The older you get, don't give me those looks. Greg's giving me looks, y'all, in the studio. It happens to every single...
Not as clever. It's up to 20 years worth of sleep. Yeah, kind of dull.
But it does slip up on you, folks. I don't care who you are. It begins by, where did I put my ink pen? And then it becomes, where did I put my car? Oh, don't be holding up the glasses. I never can find mine. Y'all know how that works there. Probably, and as we know, love is caused, it goes back even to the Bible. Men, women, it started wars of men being jealous over women. Wars are fought over women. You know it as well as I do. As we look at this, I see another case of domestic dispute that went south there. As a fitness influencer was on a date with a new boyfriend. The estranged husband showed up, took both of those out, and fatally shot an off-duty cop who tried to help out. Southern California is where that happened. Just an awful, awful situation there. Santa Monica, we go there also. An officer was ambushed there yesterday afternoon. He approached a suspect that was wanted in another shooting, and he was shot. These things happen all over the world, as they do here. I'll just say it the way this is done there. Los Angeles, California, they got a call of a kidnapping. They sent out the police there in a hurry. It was just ICE doing their job, taking somebody away that was not a U.S. citizen. There was no kidnapping. Trump is going to limit, and I agree with this 125%. There's some things that no one needs to know what the president is doing when it comes to national security at that given time, that moment. When you got to keep things quiet. They're going to limit classified info that's shared to Congress during a situation. I kind of agree with that. We got some tattletales. He even has tattletales within his administration. Not as bad as his first administration. He could cough before that first round, before he figured out what politics was, and everybody in the U.S. knew it. And he couldn't figure out who did it. He had so many against him. Now, whether this happens or not, I don't know. But boy, what a great idea. Florida, the Everglades. It's pretty rough down there. Kind of like Alcatraz, so to speak. And I'm sure you've heard about this. The Florida Attorney General is proposing putting a prison there, right up amongst the gators. Should they escape? Well, they couldn't get far. What do y'all think? It's a big deterrent to escape when you know something's out there that is really interested in you. The Pentagon is setting up 2 more military buffer zones near the border in Arizona and Texas. These will operate as a regular military base. They will be temporary, but will operate as a U.S. base. We got to have things closer as we tighten up our borders here in the U.S. of A. Important. The big beautiful bill. And I looked at these people that got arrested. Whether you like the big beautiful bill or not, do it peacefully. Did I say that correctly? They arrested 34 people yesterday they were against it. It's okay to protest. I have no problems with that. They were kids. Didn't any of them look more than 21. Bless them. And again, I'm not sold on our taxes going up. I'm not. But I'm not going to cause a scene like that. Happens every day. I don't know the film. It takes a good movie for me to really like. There's a film coming out called Bratz. Y'all know who Kim Kardashian was? I think the figure goes like that.
Yeah.
Every picture I've ever seen of her. But she's set to play the villain in it. Okay. Maybe I want to watch that. We'll see. No, I have to go back and study that a little bit more there. Let's see. What else we got this morning? Last night, the great state of Mississippi, a little after 6 p.m., the guy that's been sitting on death row for the longest ever in Mississippi was sent to the death chamber. He met his maker last night. The family had a spokesperson come out and give their statement of what the family went through. Very strong words were said there, and I agree with the family so much. They were not given an option. This man has sat on death row since 1977 after kidnapping and murdering a fellow Mississippian from the Gulf Coast. He met his maker last night. That is finally over. No more injunctions, no more of that. Said and done. We'll be right back with your weather forecast as this day is underway. We'll tell you all about it next at the Scotty Ray Report.
We are at downtown Meridian at Meridian Shoe Factory on 22nd Avenue. They are having a one-time closeout sale on all their old inventory to make room for their new inventory. They have slashed their prices from $40 to $30 to even $20. And for every shoe you buy, your name gets put in the raffle to win a wonderful prize at the end of this month. Come see them Monday through Friday from 9 to 5 and Saturday from 10 to 2.
Hi, this is Nick at Doc's Toyota, and we are excited to put you in a new Toyota today. We have no dealer markup, no hidden fees, no hassle, and our inventory is always priced to move. Our top-notch sales department and first-class service after the sale guarantees you a fast and comfortable buying experience like you've never had. So come see why month after month, more and more customers have chose to buy from Doc's Toyota. So come see us here at Doc's Toyota in Philadelphia, at docstoyota.com or on Facebook, and remember, there's no deal like a Doc's deal.
And welcome back. As we begin this, let's go to radar. Let you look at what's going on right now. A few showers there in the Mississippi Gulf, Mississippi Delta. Let me change that. Opposite directions there. It's early, Greg. Hush. Gulf of Mississippi. As we look north, there's still a few showers here happening in Philadelphia. Right there, we do have a wreck there that we're going to be telling you about in just a few moments there. Be careful where you're going. We had a lot of limbs blown overnight. Early as I walked to work this morning, the parking lot was wet. It was raining. We've got a lot of rain up near Tupelo. And northeasterly from Birmingham all the way up near Huntsville, Alabama, Decatur, as you get into Murfreesboro, Tennessee, rain approaching y'all. Y'all be careful there. Pulaski, Lawrenceburg, a lot of rain in that area there. Heavier rain. Mississippi, we're not so bad, but if you'll notice the pink, we do have a heat advisory through 7 p.m., and they mean it. They're not faking on this. It's a tough one there. So that's what we got shaken so far on that this morning. As we get ready to get into your forecast, don't forget we should have showers moving back in the forecast. Should be a little bit after 2 o'clock is what we're expecting. Heat index should be somewhere around 101. Let's get into that forecast now.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA.
Welcome back. Our record highs and record lows. 1914, 102 today. That was hot, wasn't it? 1984, we had a low of 56 degrees. Still waiting on that forecast outlook from Jackson there for the state. Hadn't got that yet, but Alabama's all over it. They had coffee this morning. Said it's going to be 93 in Demopolis. We'll see that in Birmingham. Clanton, Montgomery should reach 95. As we look here, this is heat stress. It's continuing through today. That's the wrong one, but the same thing for today. Exact map. As we look here, here's our threat today of severe weather this afternoon. It will stretch all the way over just past Jackson, somewhere around Edwards, right before you get to Vicksburg there. Most of the state under a level 1 there. From mainly 3 p.m. to 9 p.m. tonight is what we're going to be watching on this. And this will return tomorrow as well. As we look across this, here's our heat wave for today. A little bit hotter there in West Texas and southern Louisiana than it is in Mississippi. Even up the eastern coastline there, it's hot. Washington State doesn't look too cool either, does it? As we look at our 7-day outlook here, here's what we've got today. Anywhere from 95 to 96, depending upon where you're standing. A 30% chance of showers moving in somewhere between 2 to 3 p.m. this afternoon. Could last until 9 p.m., and again, the heat stress will make it feel like it's 101 today. And expect that to remain with us for several days now. Oof. 93 tomorrow is the high, but we increase to a 50% chance of showers. We'll see a 40% chance on Saturday. The temperature is just about the same, 93, 94. As you make it to church on Sunday, a 50% chance of rain, and it increases the further we go. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we should see 70% chance of showers. Now let's move up and take a look at the 4th of July. Only a 20% chance of showers. Should be perfect there for the fireworks show that's going to be happening downtown at Bonita. We'll have a 4th of July celebration. A lot of towns will. Hope you can make it to those. As we move into Saturday the 5th, after everybody celebrates, puppy dogs make it back home after being scared for a moment. They'll be okay there. It'll be 92, 90, 91, and then by the 9th, we should see about 94 there. Small chances of rain each day. What's happening in the fishing world? Well, today, calm wind, around 5 miles an hour this afternoon. We'll see the best times to fish today from 1:30 to 3:30 if you're out and about. And then a minor time this morning around 9 a.m. until about 10. Brought to you by our good friends at Clarkdale Superette. If you need any bait, they've got it all for you there. Minnows and the whole 9 yards. Drop in and visit with them. Sunrise happened at 5:49 this morning. Sunset will make it till 8:05, a little later this afternoon. So good looking stuff as we move right along. It's already 6:55 as we get ready for the morning show here in just a moment. Let me show this. Let's go back to radar one last time and look at the severe weather for today and tomorrow. Now, again, this is today. They've expanded this in the last few moments since the National Weather Service made that all the way to Vicksburg now. Again, this is for today. That's a level 1. Let's look at Friday of how this will be. And this moves over into the Bama area tomorrow. That's what we're expecting there. So it will move east of us, Columbus, Montgomery, all the way over there to up the eastern coastline. So they've adjusted a lot in the last few moments there from the National Weather Service. So today, remember, 3 p.m. to 9 p.m. is what the National Weather Service is saying we could get the worst of any weather that happens. Well, there you go. We'll be back in a few moments. Odie, Greg is here. We're getting ready for the morning show. Then we'll have a special guest tomorrow. We'll have the sheriff coming in, Todd Kemp.
Gotta find somebody to work.
She's been skipping, hadn't she? That girl, I tell you what, more vacation time than a man in the moon. We'll be back in just a moment as we'll begin the morning show.